Alright, my name is Nick.
I'm Pete.
And we're gonna play Castle Crashers.
Well, talking about various topics.
Timely topics.
Video game topics.
Timelier than Castle Crashers, maybe. Probably not.
Well, you know. I mean, one of the topics goes into this.
Exactly. Related topics.
Oh.
Oh.
You do not know. How hard.
Let's
Tried so hard. We got so far.
But in the end, it mattered.
It mattered.
It actually did matter.
Sonic Blue. You're gonna go with Tails Orange.
Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice. Oh, isn't Red Fire?
There are clearly flames on my orange guy.
Yay! Look at the dance. Oh, you're rocking out. Thumbs down.
Still not right. Okay, there we go. I can tell you more about animal orbs. That's okay.
That's fine. No, you sure it doesn't say dabs? Animal dabs.
Damn you, font! How you use magic? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been a while since we played this game.
Oh, left trigger. Oh, left trigger.
And this is all you really need. Just jump and attack. That'll carry you through the whole game.
I can't read it. There you go. Ah.
Hold LT. To block.
Yep. You can block and use magic at the same time. Or can you block and attack at the same time? It's been a while. No, the king.
That's got to be a pretty sturdy chair to hold that crystal.
Get him! Yes, sir. Is there a run button too?
I think that's just the run button. The standard run speed. Yeah.
Hey, I'm here too. See, you can do that. Why can't I?
Superpowers. So anyway, the related topics that we were going to discuss, like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, I just said it relates to Sonic the Hedgehog. Doesn't have to. Well, the one girl being dragged on her face, I remember that.
And you never see her face for the entire game.
Yeah, till the end.
Till the end.
Which I guess would be after the entire game?
Technically, you could probably still keep playing it after you've beaten it to unlock all the new weapons and all the characters. Make some cheap barbecue out of them. So what's going on with Sonic? You were telling me something about a movie coming out?
So, video game movies in general. Yes, there is a Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out in 2019. It's going to be CG with live action elements, like the backgrounds. So
the chili dogs will be live action.
Because we can't spend the budget on big chili dogs.
The CG chili dogs just don't really do much for me. I tried watching a movie with CG chili dogs.
Just took me out.
Took me out of
the experience.
Do we want to buy anything?
Can I buy anything?
-1 to arm muscle, +1 to rabbit.
What is... Oh, that's health, right?
Presumably. I guess we can afford it.
I can't. Oh, okay.
But have they announced anything like about what the plot's going to be about, or
No,
is it
but
just?
I'm pretty sure based upon, you know, Sega of Japan's, like, reliance on Sonic Adventure themes. It's going to be about Station Square, you know, getting flooded. Sonic Adventure over and over again. Sonic Adventure, 100 years Sonic Adventure.
Will Sonic have to save all the human princesses?
No, I don't think they're gonna go for 06 plot. Even that they have realized that that's not kosher. I don't know.
Or that they're like, that definitely did not work out.
Hey, Montezul, you got a new combo. I can't see a dang shit. Alright, there we go.
Oh, you were expecting to see the screen.
But it was me.
Dio. But at the very least, they're doing something smarter than they're just having an animated movie. Like, imagine if they tried a live action. Oh no! Now you are occupying all of the screen.
So.
But imagine like if they were made like a live action Sonic.
Well, I think. Okay, so like CG movie with live action elements. That's
Live action Sonic the Hedgehog character with CG backgrounds. Got it.
the other way. Transformers. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to say. Transformers are all CG, yet Spike or Sam Witwicky.
Sam Witwicky. Actually, he was also a CG character.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't appear to express human emotions.
And
Ooh.
and what's his face? Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, he played himself.
Yeah. Marky Mark. He had those good vibrations.
But yeah, at the very least, they're making it CG. Like, imagine if Super Mario the movie was made CG instead of
Bob Hoskins.
Instead of Bob Hoskins and
John Leguizamo, right?
And Dennis Hopper as Bowser.
Yeah.
Like, even back then, like, you don't need to have Pixar quality CG. Yeah. But it could still be like back then quality animation. Like that would have been 1,000 times better than whatever it was they churned out.
What would that be? Mad Max style movie?
Like if it had even the same plot line, just animated, like they wouldn't have needed to explain why the Mario Brothers jumped high.
Yeah. Very true.
And that's something that
we could have gotten over that.
And that's something that we got away with for the Castlevania Netflix show.
Yes.
Was we didn't really have to explain how Belmont survives 100-meter drops into pits.
And that was only 4 episodes.
And that was it 4? Yeah, that was only like an 80-minute movie.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Which is pretty standard for a movie, actually.
And pretty standard for an animated movie of that type. Like, that's no longer than Batman Mask of the Phantasm, I believe.
A good movie.
And a good animated movie.
A good Batman movie.
So yeah, at the very least, even though we don't really know what they're going to do with it, they're moving in the right direction. Or they're starting off in the right direction. No, that money was ours.
Well, but you've seen a lot of video game adapted movies.
Yes.
I have not seen Prince of Persia.
You did not miss much.
I did not see...
did you see Hitman? No.
I saw the first hit.
And I also watched Agent 47. That was also bad.
I saw Max Payne, but I enjoyed Max Payne.
Max Payne has its moments, but overall, it's bad. Like they took a character from the video game. They took BB, who is the guy who ends up betraying Max and makes him essentially the big antagonist of the movie.
Right.
But in the video game, nobody calls him anything but BB. And so the whole joke is, what does your name mean? Backstabbing bastard? But in the movie, like, you have big executives just calling him BB because they never named him.
Did you see the Ratchet and Clank movie?
I did not. I bought it for some reason, but I still haven't watched it.
Next time on Pete and Nick Talk About Games, we're gonna watch it over Ratchet and Clank.
We might actually watch that movie because it might be interesting.
Well, I mean, I believe it follows. Dragged woman across the ground. What's that flag at the bottom? Oh, they're just raising.
Yeah, they're just cheering on their favorite bad guy.
Oh.
Yep. No, now he's laughing at you.
He had a right to. I'm not going to deny him this. I'm pretty bad. Sorry.
Watch out.
My point of the Ratchet and Clank movie is that...
Again, that's another example of a CG movie. Instead of trying to do like a live action thing.
Oh, and they're women!
They're taking our women folk away. Watch out. Never mind. But like video game based movies generally don't have too much of a good record for their live action counterparts.
What about, well, Ratchet and Clank involved the people that made the game. Do you
Correct.
think that helped it? More than
We'll find out. I don't remember it being reviewed well.
Yeah, I don't recall it. You're saying CG movie.
Yeah, at the very least, it has the look and feel of the video game it's based on.
I know the basic premise of it. Oh, treasure.
Money.
Give me some money. Cash money. Oh, I'm sorry.
You are blessed.
Oh no, no, you can. Take your woman. Yeah, I guess it's more fun to try.
Exactly.
No. Oh.
Through the mask.
Well, anything else to add to video game movies? Because it might be a good time to move on.
Wrap up that discussion.
We're on the next level.
What was the last video game movie that came out? Oh yeah, the last video game movie that came out was Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
That was like that big project for what's his name? Michael Fassbender.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it just turned to crap.
Well, it sounded like they focused on the wrong part of the movie, which made a good movie instead of a good video game. That's what I heard.
Well, yeah. Well, they focused on the modern storyline instead of focusing on, like, Assassin's Creed is really more about the previous storyline. It's more about the past.
About the past, yeah.
But in the movie, you didn't care about the past characters. They were just kind of plot devices to move the present story forward.
Right.
But yeah, I suppose that's as long as the writers and the people making it actually care about the project, then you might end up with something cool. Use your skill points.
Alright.
Now I don't believe we're ready to move this way, because that's locked off. So let's go...
Isn't this the level with the giant thing in the background? The top one in the forest? Or is that...
I think that's with the forest... Was the forest entrance the one where you're riding pooping deer?
I forgot about that, yeah. I think so.
It's maybe not this one, but the one after it.
It's like they get so scared that just a constant stream.
Just a constant stream of poop. Let's go.
Let's go. What's the next topic?
The next topic at hand is the scarcity of Nintendo products.
Yeah.
Oh, Velociraptor.
Oh, shoot, I didn't know I had. Hey,
There, you got a bow.
you got a turbo laser. Took out their compound.
So there's the whole issue with, like, okay, so now the SNES Classic has just come out. And, it isn't even half come out. It hasn't come out.
The pre-orders,
Yeah.
Yeah, before we started this,
We hopped onto GameStop's page, and there's a giant banner at the top of the
pre-made
page.
banners that says,
It says that they're sold out.
forget you. Sure.
There you go.
So, yeah. Why can't Nintendo make enough? Why? Well, actually, you know what? I don't think it's not that they're not making enough. I think the problem is that scalpers are getting the jump on it. People are finding that the best business decision is to make everybody else miserable that want this game system.
Is to keep the exact purchasing amounts to a minimum, so that they make profits. I think if you slash that, you should be able to get some health items. There you go.
Where's the partridge?
There's a pear. Grab it.
Thank you. You're watching my health more than I am.
I try my best. Ah, there's an apple. Grab it.
You're utilizing that Velociraptor. You ever hear anyone call it Velociraptor?
Veloso
Velociraptor?
Raptor. Oh no, my Velociraptor is gone.
He ran away.
So yeah, we've got yep, this is the level.
Not even flying away scared,
just shat itself dead. So we've got like, what are the chances of you ever getting a Nintendo Classic? Unless you want to spend like a ridiculous amount of cash.
Well, close to nil now, because the way I would want a Nintendo Classic is all gone now, because everybody's modded the Nintendo Classic to be to work with all sorts of games instead of just the original NES Classic stuff. So it's like I don't want that. I want the 30 games, you know, in the way Nintendo intended to make it. It's like what if they made the Switch?
Oh, don't forget you also have your health potion.
Oh yeah. How do you switch that again?
Right bumper or left bumper.
There we go.
Groovy.
Yeah, here we go. Rocket.
So yeah, the only real way to get a new a Nintendo Classic is
Go back in time.
to go back in time, or to spend way too much money.
How do you sprint? Yeah, because it's impossible now.
And now the Super Nintendo Classic's out, and that almost has like the same thing going for that.
Scalpers aren't gonna sell it for MSRP.
Damn them scalpers wanting to make profit off of their purchases.
Like, at least enjoy it first before you. Don't buy it to sell it. Oh, I got a stick. Great. I guess you have the only breakable wall. Anyway.
Yeah. But that's the problem that Nintendo has. That Nintendo has in general is manufacturing stuff in very limited quantities.
Yeah.
Like Amiibos had that issue, and the Switch.
Yep.
Would you say the Switch still has that issue? I mean, like you.
I don't know. I finally got one.
It took like a good.
I went to the Nintendo Switch event with you. And we looked at...
I think they're dead.
Well, we're getting experience. Is this what grinding is?
Yes. Yeah, we checked out the Switch before it came out.
Yeah.
At a big preview event, in which the Switch was available to try, but at the time there were once again no Switches available to pre-order. The pre-ordering was empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was kind of late to the party. You had yours pre-ordered. Probably day of it was available.
Probably. But I don't think that, like, I guess for the classic and any classic ones, I think those came out pretty early. Those, I mean, the pre-orders ended pretty early for that.
Yeah.
And then one more that's pooping. Yeah. Not even walking forward, just propelled by its own poop.
I'm glad you guys can remain calm. There we go. Hey, I got the poop eating deer.
Nope.
Oh, crap.
I forgot I had to do stuff.
Oh, wait. I gotta stay back, but I don't want to. This guy.
And then we got a doors coming.
Got it.
This feels like a modern day Battletoads.
I can't see myself. I can't imagine with 4 players.
Oh, it would be madness. Schizophrenia in reverse.
Isn't that from Max Payne?
Yep.
Yeah. Bright green crack through my brain. Oh, what is it?
Max,
funny as
you're
hell.
in a movie.
Funny as hell. It's the most horrible thing I could think of. Oh, my favorite line.
So I can understand why Nintendo might keep their quantities limited, because there's the whole issue with Disney Infinity, in which they ended up with extra figurines manufactured that weren't selling. And can I hop onto one of you? Yes.
Yes. The gator. The river gator. Oh.
Ah.
Well, I'm without a mount.
That's what
A wheel.
she said. Ah,
Give me back my wheel.
grab the pear.
Grabbing the pear.
Damn you. There.
Jump out of the water, big one. No. Grab the pear. Oh, wait. Staring at the wrong character again. Fish! Oh.
But at the same time, like, if you don't manufacture enough to take care of your audience, people are just going to be upset.
Yeah.
Or end up with nothing.
I said screw Nintendo at one point. But then I got a Switch.
But then you got to switch. So they got your money eventually. When they finally decided, oh, we're going to manufacture stuff.
Well, at least Nintendo got my money and not some stupid scalper.
Exactly.
I can live with that.
Well, technically Nintendo would get your money no matter what.
They would have gotten the scalper's money.
Yeah. Damn you.
Yes. Damn you.
Oh, Sam. Okay.
My king!
My liege.
You keep pointing.
Ah.
Yep.
Ah.
Bad kitty.
Bad fish kitty. So,
So yeah.
I guess
What do
that
you think? So you think that Nintendo's purposely keeping stock?
I think so. I think they could technically, well, maybe not necessarily with the Switch. You could argue that maybe there are certain things that are preventing them from manufacturing more. But I would argue that at the very least with the classic systems, that they're keeping the manufacturing low. That way they don't have excess.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want any extra inventory.
You think that? Do you think with the Switch they would have extra inventory?
I think the problem with the Switch is that you want extra inventory to a point. Because you don't want to... Hold up.
I hate it.
Okay. Because you don't want to get into a situation in which there's no systems for people to sell games, to play the games on. It's kind of like when the Switch was originally released. They sold more copies of Breath of the Wild than they did Switches.
Yeah.
Which says one thing about how popular Zelda is, but it also says how unprepared they were for the release of the Switch. Now, I believe when the 360 or the PS3 released, like they had really poor sales, and they had too many on the shelf. When the Wii U released, again, a lot of the same thing.
I'll tell you one thing about PS3, because I got one when it was
Come
fairly
back,
new.
fish. Damn you, fish.
And I got it when it was fairly new.
Yeah.
Got the original 60 gigabyte version of the.
With the actual backwards compatibility.
Yeah, not the emulated, the actual chip, the CPU from the PS2.
Yep.
The
And you die.
and I died. Oh. No continues. Damn. Maybe now I can focus on the conversation.
Yes. So yeah, you got the PS3 new.
PS3 new. So when I first went to GameStop, I just wanted to see their inventory on what they had. Like I wasn't planning on purchasing one or the other at that point. And they had tons of Wii's on the shelf, but no PS3s. And I was like, oh, okay. So when I was ready to purchase one or the other, I was like, so what's your inventory now? Like this was, so the release was back in November or October or something like that?
Full health.
Oh, because you leveled up?
Yep.
Yep. Nice. Must be nice.
It must be nice leveling up.
Must be nice getting back full health.
And living.
But it turned out that they had no Wii's in stock and tons of PS3s in stock. It was that initial push that they couldn't keep up with stock on, and then
And then finally, as the system progressed, they were able to keep up.
Yep.
And some more damage, some more health, and speed.
Not enough magic, huh?
It doesn't really help my strategy.
Slash recharge? Oh wow, I can still pick even though.
Yeah, you leveled up a couple times.
But I'm not alive.
No, you'll be alive in the next level.
Ah, okay.
In the tall grass field.
Yep. So, final thoughts?
Final thoughts? I had a thought. What was it about? It was about... Oh, yeah. Nope, I had nothing. Nothing really. I was going to say something about the fact that like I didn't actually buy a PS3 first. I bought a copy of Metal Gear Solid 4 first. And then I eventually got a PS3.
I did. No, go ahead.
But that was more because PS3s were expensive. Not because they were unavailable.
Yeah, I kind of funny to think about it. It was $150 for a Wii, and $700 for a PS3.
I think it was $250, but
$250 for a Wii.
I think
I know for a fact it was $700 for a PS3.
Oh yeah. And there were jokes that like a PS3 would come with like wine glasses because it was so expensive. $699 US dollars. Yep. So I got the lesser version that does not play PS1, or actually it does play PS1 games. It doesn't play PS2 games.
Yeah. All PlayStations except for PlayStation 4 can play PS1 games.
But not all of them. Only one of them can play. Yeah. Or one of them in one release of the PS3 can play the PS2 games. But I guess a final thought would be just it would be nice if like we got some sort of reassurance that they might keep up with demand, because now I go to stores and I see they sell the controllers for the NES Classic still. Like, what's the point? It's literally wasting shelf space because nobody is selling the Classic anymore.
Well, you can still use it on your Wii U.
Alright.
So if you wanted to play Nintendo games on a controller with the virtual console.
Si, senor.
So, but I was just gonna say that that reminds me, when you bought Metal Gear before the PS3, reminded me of when I had NHL Hits before the Xbox.
Well, that was more of a fortuitous turn of events, more than anything else. Like, you weren't like, man, I really want to play NHL Hits, but I can't get an Xbox yet.
We live in Chicago. Midway was based in Chicago. I had a coworker that had a brother. Coworker's brother's former roommate.
What does that make us?
Absolutely nothing. But anyway, that worked for Midway, and he could get me a game on the cheap. And I said, why not? That certainly would sway my decision on which console of that generation I would want.
Oh, by the way, this was original Xbox at the time.
Original? I thought I said original.
I think you just said Xbox, but
The first.
just to clarify how long ago this was.
the Xbox One. No, the Xbox One. The one Xbox.
Yeah, that one.
The blacksmith. What ho, the blacksmith?
I know we've collected a few weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's this? Okay. That did something. Then you go into the deer frog. So we got it's minus, that's the same.
It's faster speed, minus that.
Same.
No change.
+2.
0, no change. Pretty bad. No change. So many weapons.
I'll switch my notes.
Smoking.
Alright, so...
Oh, I didn't mean to. I was just running past it.
Alright, so I guess that covers up that topic well enough.
I think so. Now let's go on to a topic near and dear to your heart.
Well, our hearts in general. Yeah. And that would be beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
Actually, Thieves Arena?
I've never been there, I don't think.
Is that... I forget if that's just like a required level, or if that's like a survival mode.
Well, it looks like a survival mode. It's got the arena aspect of it, and it says arena
It's
too.
called an arena.
Do we steal stuff?
Who knows? So, like, one of the things that just playing Castle Crashers has me thinking about is, like, you have all these new retro games coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these, like, everybody's trying to bring back the old school style. But, like, the beat 'em up hasn't quite caught on quite as much.
Why is that?
I don't know. It could be the more like you look at games like Shovel Knight and Bloodstained. These are games that could really add on to the feature set of previous games in its genre. But the beat 'em up hasn't really changed much. Like when you go from classic beat 'em ups like the Simpsons arcade game or the X-Men arcade game. These were games that were created to steal your money and put it directly into the arcade machine. I guess that's a rain dance?
Oh, shoot. I didn't...
Oh, you had to be mashing? You weren't mashing?
Button masher. Well, here's the thing. I think they, because the original beat 'em ups were just, what can we do with our fighting game sprites?
Yeah, and especially like with games like Final Fight, they were kind of built off of. Like, wasn't Final Fight supposed to be Streets of Rage? Or no, Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the next Street Fighter. And the Street Fighter 89, I believe, is what they were planning on calling it. And, no, the Capcom corporate said, no. We're going to make Street Fighter its own thing. We're going to make this something else. Which turned out to be Final Fight. But, so, maybe instead of looking for a beat 'em up, they just want to, they just make fighting games out of it. 'Cause there are a lot of fighting games out there.
Well, yeah, but then fighting games are for obviously a different market. But like I've heard the theory that beat 'em ups never truly died; they just became action games, which, to a degree, I might agree with. But they also lost that co-op, the ability to just fight alongside your buddies. The closest beat 'em up, or like modern day type beat 'em up I can think of might be something like Anarchy Reigns, which nobody played.
I was about to say.
I think we might die here.
Yeah.
Ah! Yep, there you go. I forgot about that.
How long has it been since we played this?
When did this come out?
2009.
Oh!
Oh, wait.
L trigger.
Oh, L trigger.
There we go.
I wish they would have reminded me that I had that.
Yeah, pair.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good. We both have pretty low health.
You get the next one.
Alright.
You do it. Friendship.
So I actually do have a couple questions related to beat 'em ups in general, though. Considering all the Kickstarters and the reboots and research. Is first, which series would you like to see come back? I think I already know your answer, by the way.
Streets of Rage. Well, yeah, Streets of Rage, definitely.
Over Teenage. Well, I guess they've been trying. They've been trying to make a new TMNT game for a while.
Yeah.
And
Slice and dice.
Slice and dice. Slice and dice. Although really that one wasn't the worst offender. Surprisingly,
yeah.
What was it?
The
Platinum Games.
Yeah.
Their TMNT game was awful.
I saw the. I think I saw. Did I see you playing it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Oh, the backgrounds looked exactly like their Transformers game that they had recently released as well.
Yep. They were making games on a budget.
Like originality? No. But not to say that the backgrounds didn't look bad.
It's just it would have been nice if. Well, actually, here's the thing though. The backgrounds aren't the reason the game is bad, though. Everything poops.
Everybody poops. Everybody cries.
Ah, I gotcha. Actually, I don't gotcha.
Don't worry about me.
Ah, damn it.
Oh. I thought you were knocked down.
Nah, I just need to lure him over here so that I can then... Ah,
Too late.
he just flies so fast. I can't bring you back anymore.
Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Alright.
run away! So, yeah, TMNT Platinum Games. But, did you have another idea for what you would want to see come back?
Well, the fact
I mean,
that...
you'd be wrong, but... No.
After playing Double Dragon Neon, I wouldn't mind a Double Dragon Neon 2 because they actually made a really good game out of it. But yeah, Streets of Rage would definitely be the one I would like to see again. And then the second question is, how would you want it to come back?
Besides beat 'em up, or?
As like a kickstarted series made by like the original creators, or as a new game from the studio.
Ooh. I don't think I can go with the new Streets of Rage without the original creators.
Now, that would seem like it would be the best answer. But then there's Mighty Number 9.
Yeah. Well, I never played Mighty Number 9, and
You watched me play Mighty Number 9.
I watched you play Mighty Number 9, and your gameplay could have been a little better.
My gameplay or the gameplay?
Your gameplay.
Damn it.
My gameplay
damn it.
always sucks.
This is going to be a close one.
Like, none of these bats can drop food, huh? What the? Did you get him? You got him.
Okay. I guess I did.
Oh.
Oh,
What's the bat?
you have the bat. Now,
Keep switching off animals. What does the bat do?
I don't know.
Oh, the king's following me. Stop! You're blocking my view, King. Treasure.
So Kenji Inafune, I think is his name. He makes Mighty Number 9, and it's awful. So having the original creator didn't necessarily help that team. And in other evidence, we have Sonic Mania, which is made by not a developer, but a fan of the series.
Yep.
Do I want? That game got pretty close to death there, so... Yeah, there we go. Chilled? Yeah.
Okay, so maybe what I mean is when I think of the creators, I think of the guy who wrote the music.
Okay.
And his sister who came up with the character designs.
Okay.
The ones that plaster all over the thing versus...
Not necessarily the original game design director.
Yeah.
But the people who supported the game director.
Yeah, the ones who brought life into it.
Okay, that's a fair... Or again, like people who cared about actually making the series. Like, apparently there were issues with The Evil Within. Like, the developer didn't really want to make a horror game. Oh, move through water quickly.
Oh. I still couldn't catch up to the logs.
And what does yours do?
Bites enemies' heads off. That's a really good one.
Knocks down enemies.
So I think we got. Oh.
Oh no, that just gets rid of him.
Yeah. Come back! I didn't mean it. Oh. Gimme. Gimme.
Alright.
Yeah. But that's what I mean when I say the original creators. Because they came up with the concept, but they didn't really develop the game. So, I mean, as long as you have the guy who wrote the music and the sister who came up with the character designers, but I don't know, maybe Skipper, it's a terrible thing to say. Everybody's special. But you could bring new people in and still have lifeblood.
And yes, you can't really do it without bringing new people in no matter what. Yeah. Trying to reassemble the dream team would be near impossible, and also a terrible choice because you need more people to make a modern game than you did back then.
I mean, even Sonic Mania still had the producer of Sonic Team.
Now, what if they had the director of Sonic Dreams? It seems that as if the direction of Sonic the Hedgehog has become horror.
I don't think that's an official Sega product. I don't even think its claim of a beta is an official statement either.
So yeah, as long as the people who make the game actually care about the game,
yeah,
then it's definitely a good step forward.
The labor of love will always show through.
As long as it's not being made by Mercury Steam.
Is it a labor of love though, or is it a money grab?
Isn't everything really a money grab?
I don't know. Maybe Sonic Mania is a money grab. At $20.
It's a pretty good deal for what you're buying for that amount of content. Shall we go to the factory, the flower field, or finish up our discussion for now?
Let's finish it up for now. It's kind of late.
Or give Thieves Arena a go as we wrap up our discussion.
Let's give Thieves Arena a go while we wrap up our discussion.
Oh
no! Wow, your RAM.
Okay, so I guess this is what Thieves Arena is. It's just the fighting mode.
You asshole RAM!
I will not fight you. My RAM will do the fighting. He's got a long charging. Like, you can see his charge.
Yeah. Now I have to pay attention to it.
There. See? Alright. So, that was the first podcast from us. Maybe.
We'll see how it comes out after post.
In post, this might turn into a giant trash fire. Literally and figuratively.
There you go. Can we just talk about this thing?
No, we cannot.